Hello everyone, my name is Lokesh Koyakar. In this video, we are going to discuss about what are the economic indicators. So, economic indicators are vital data point that provide a snapshot of how an economic health and how its performance. They are essential tool for analyzing trends, comparing national economics, and informing critical policies decisions. These indicators covers various aspects, including growth, inflation, employment, and trade offshoring, a comparative view of economic activity. GDP, gross domestic product. So, gross domestic product GDP represents the total market value of all finished goods and services produced within a country borders over a specific period, typically a year. It is a primary measure of an economy size and production capacity. A higher GDP gradually indicates a more robust and growth economy. GDP is equals to consumption plus investment plus government expenditure plus exports minus imports. P per capita, gross domestic product per capita. It is an indicator which is used to calculate the individual wealth, refers to an average economic output per person in a country. Global comparison enable a more accurate comparison of a living standard between the nations. Development metrics, a key indicator for assessing a country's overall development level. GDP per capita is calculated by dividing country's total GDP by the population. This matrix provides insights into an average economical output and income per citizen, making it a more effective tool for comparing living standard and economic well-being uh, according to the country's GDP size divided ac- according to country's economic size divided by its population. So we get the real picture how much a country really a country's citizens earn. Example, when we say about India, India is the fourth largest economy. It has $4 trillion economy size. But when it comes to its GDP per capita in 2003, it was 2,480 dollars. That is lower than GDP per capita of Bangladesh in 2003 as per World Bank. Inflation rate measures the rate at which the general levels of price. The general levels means the price of the commodities. Commodities means the goods and services which we produce, like the vegetables or the FMCG products, which is fast moving consumer goods, uh, or digital products, anything that are commodities. And the when we talk about the general price, so that prices, uh, if increases, general prices levels increases means that prices increase of that goods services is raised, and the consequently the purchasing power of the currency is falling. Moderate inflation is normal sign for a developing economy, but high or hyperinflation it can be save decentralized an economy. So inflation is normal. If inflation rate is normal, then it is a good sign for the developing economy or growth economy. But inflation can be high and hyperinflation. The some countries in recent years have faced the high inflation and hyperinflation, like Sri Lanka and Pakistan are the best example, if I would like to say. It is the primary measure by which consumer consumer price index, which is CPI, which tracks tracks the average change over the time in the price paid by an urban consumer for a market bucket of consumer goods and services. Unemployment rate. Labor force. Percentage of labor force that jobless but actively seeking employment. Economic health. A high unemployment rate signs undealing issues within the economic system. Social impact directly affects income level, consumer expenditure, and poverty rate. So, unemployment in an economy should not be there in any country. If the economy is present in a country, that affects the social factors like the consumer expenditure, poverty rate. So, there should be no employment, no unemployment. Okay, sorry. Okay, so no unemployment, trade of balance of trade. So, the balance of trade is a different between a country's total value of exports and its total value of imports over a specific period. It is a crucial component of a country's balance of payment. Trade surplus occurs when the country's exports are excess its imports, indicating inter strong international demand for its goods and services. Trade deficit occurs when imports exceed exports, potentially leading to an currency devaluation and the reliance and relying on the foreign capital. The balance significantly impact a nation's currency value, domestic industries, and overall economic strength in the global market. So, what is balance of payment? So, balance of payment is refers to an uh, trade surplus or trade deficit. So, what is trade surplus? So, surplus. So, trade surplus is refers to the when countries imports when when countries exports are exceeds to its imports, then we see the trade surplus, which is the good thing about the nation and country. When we say about the trade deficit, it refers to the when imports of the country is goes high, then in exports of the countries compared, which leads to the devaluation of a currency of that nation and the expecting foreign capital from foreign institution, financial institutions, and foreign governments and foreign aid types of interest rates are primarily set by the country's central bank to manage monetary policy. Lending and investment, they influence the cost of borrowing for the businesses and the consumer, impacting the investment and expending decision. Inflation control, lower rate stimulate economic activity while higher rate are used to crude inflation. So, interest rates are decided by the central banks of the country or nation, which are managed by the monetary policy. The interest rates plays a crucial role in the economy. If the interest rates are high, then the inflation will be low. The inflations are kept high when by the central bank, that is kept high due to keeping in mind that inflation will should be go down, and the when interest rates are put low, then inf- then the inflation will be raised. To stimulate economic activity, government debts represent the total amount of money that the government owes to its creditors, which can be include individuals, corporates, and even other countries. It is often measures as the percentage of the countries per capita to provide context on the stability. While some levels of debts can be beneficial for the financing public investment, excessively high high government debts can limit a nation's future economic policies option, potentially leading to the higher taxes, reducing public services, or even and financial stability. So, in recent days, we are hiding, we are viewing the news on news channels and newspapers that the USA taken the big loans, and it can be soon enters into an recessions. So the high debt in the government ha- owes if high debt, so which can be led to the higher taxes in future and reduce the public services or the public services quality. uh, so government tries to cut its expenditures to pay its debt and its interest. Okay. So there should be or no high government debt. So government debt include two types: individual, corporate, and even the other countries' debt also. So they now you know about the now we compare with an example India and US as per 2024 data. Let's compare to two major global economy, India and US, using our key economic indicators based on 2024 data. So there are key metrics as we see indicators GDP. So indicators country name India, USA. We are comparing India versus USA. Indicators are first GDP, US dollars trillions. These GDP numbers are trillions US dollars. Okay. So first India has $3.7 trillion, whereas US has $25 trillion. GDP per capita of India is $2,600 and USA has $75,000. Inflation rate in India is 5.2% and in USA it is 3.1%. And the unemployment rate is 7.8% in India, and there is unemployment rate in USA which is 3.5%. So when we compare these both countries, actually this comparison is wrong, because this we are comparing the countries two different types of economy. One is growth economy, one is developed economy. USA is growth economy and India is developed economy. Means in USA is already developed. It has the good infrastructure, good everything. But India is still developing. So we can compare India with the with countries like Bangladesh, China, Pakistan, Brazil, and many more. When we come to USA, we can compare it with Germany, Japan, Germany, Japan, UK, Canada. Okay. So what is our final conclusion? So why economic indicators matters? So the reason is inf- informed governance. E- equip e- equip governments with a data for efficiency, policy formation, and resources allocation. Global benchmarks accurate, enable accurate comparison and understanding of economic performance across the nation. Investing guidance provides crucial insights for guiding investments and trade decisions. Next, development insights reflects a country's overall performance and socio-economic development trajectory. So it is what it is. In this video, we are going to end our video here only. So the economic indicators and economic developments are not the best and not the only indicators by which we can only say the country is developed and not or not developed. There are many more indicators like social, political, and many more environmental. So in our upcoming videos, we are going to discuss about that indicators and the developments and comparison. In our final video, we are going to make the comparison of some countries with developing country and growth countries with their indicators like social, and economical, environmental, and political development. Thanks for watching this video. My name is Lokesh Koelkar and you're watching Lokesh Koelkar YouTube channel. Bye bye.